good evening to all of you. Very happy to see you in person. And shall we get started by lighting the candle? If you don't see the TV, you can come to the front room. If you don't see the TV, if your eyesight is still good, very good, you can still be the back. Yes. All right. Shall we salute the Buddha 3 times before we get started? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Yes. Dhamma friends who have been participating in the Mandi Sutta study, are there any newcomers by today? Your first day? Oh, 2. Okay. All right. So it makes sense because today we are going to start a new sutta. So makes sense. It makes a perfect sense. Okay. Very happy to see you once again, all of you. Yes. And happy to have been conducting the discussion, sutta discussion, without an interruption. Being here, being outside, it's a very pleasure. And this is the second sutta study I been conducting after another sutta study. So there are few other sutta studies going after this one. So it's good to see that we've been covering quite a good number of suttas, especially for the lay people. If you could remember, we started off with this very philosophical sutta, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. And then we discuss about Sabbasava Sutta. It's about asavas, a little bit about how to overcome our own akusalas. Asava is the root of akusalas, influxes. And then we picked up, maybe I had to ask you, what did we pick up after that, after Sabbasava Sutta? Pattakamma Sutta. I think we've been studying that for many weeks. And then we picked up Patama Samajevi Sutta. It's a very short sutta. It's about how to bring the relationship to the next life and the possibility of bringing the relationship to the next life based on 4 things. We were talking about, that's what we just finished by last Monday. Samasaddha, equal trust, and Samasila, equal morality, discipline, and Samachaga, equal generosity, and Samapanya, equal wisdom. And probably we could do a little bit of summary in short before we jump into this sutta. There was a couple called Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita, who were living in a place called Bagga County, in a certain place called Besakalawana area. And Buddha spent one of his vasas, probably eight vasa. That means he must have been 43 years old by that time. And he has been spending vasa at that place. So he went to this house one morning. And then this family was not a new family to the Buddha, because this couple, Nakula Mata and Nakula Pita, lady and the man, husband and wife, they were parents for the Buddha for 500 lifetimes. It's a sansaric connection. And then when he went there, all of a sudden Nakula Pita started talking, and then he said, Bhante, I would like to be reborn with my wife, who I have been with for almost 40 years. And not even in this life, I would like to see her in this way, and I want to see her in my next life. Is it possible? And then he also said he has evidences, he has fair reasons to think so. His point was that I have never thought about any other lady after I took her to my life. So, and then again, Nakula Mata also said the same thing. She said, since I was married to Nakula Pita, my husband, I have never even had a single thought of cheating on him. And this was me, and I also want to be reborn with him in the next life. And then the Buddha said, it is possible if you both have been maintaining 4 things in your life: Samasaddha, Samasila, Samachaga, Samapanya. These 4 qualities are not uncommon to us. We know what is Sila, what is Saddha, what is Chaga, what is Panya. But they were given in a different context with regard to lay people, especially for this couple. Now, when you say Saddha, you know Saddha means, for many people, it's like a devotion. But Saddha is not devotion. In Sanskrit, we call Bhakti. No matter what you feel from the Deva, you have to have Bhakti, devotion for the God. In Buddhist teachings, we don't have Bhakti. We have a very, a trust that we are creating about Buddha Dhamma Sangha. In our own personal investigation, we might not be that wise to do that complete investigation, but we have to do our own personal investigation about who the Buddha is, what qualities the Buddha has, 9 great qualities, what the Dhamma is, 6 great qualities of the Dhamma, who is a Sangha member, how many qualities are there in a Sangha member, 9 great qualities. 9, 6, 9, 24 great qualities. So if someone is trying to come to a certain point in his or her understanding that my mind is very unwavered, very established in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, that person's saddha is quite high in that perspective. But the saddha to a lay person within a relationship is not that saddha. Trust. How to build trust between 2 people in a relationship, which is a very relevant, timely thing in today's world, because conditions have changed, but we're still struggling. A lot of people are struggling about how to become trustworthy to each other, because the society has been more into being independent, which has pros and cons. So in a very individualistic and individualistic aspiring world, how to become trustworthy to somebody, how to feel trusted from someone, because we can say that you have to behave in a trustworthy way, but how to feel trustworthy to somebody? It's like everybody would like to feel loved, but does it mean that we are doing the opposite to somebody? Are we really loving the person? who we are supposed to love. But we all expect, hey, I have to be loved. I want to be loved. But it has a reciprocal context too. We all are looking for kalyana mittas. Are we becoming kalyana mittas to other people? This is the problem. We all look for, hey, where is the kalyana mitta? Noble friend. But am I becoming a kalyana mitta to someone? It's all, Dhamma has come to a level to some people where kind of a self-centered Sakkaya Ditthi perspective is very much high. So Saddha means that in a relationship, you are trying to become a trustworthy person, and you are trying to trust the other person. It's like a compromising, level. Second is Sama Sila. Sila, does Sila for a couple mean that they have to practice 8 precepts, 10 precepts, so and so forth? No, Sila to a lay couple initially means they should have a discipline that is relevant to each other. Their discipline mainly centers around not cheating. Yeah, that's it. Other things are implied. Not killing, not stealing, not lying, not taking intoxicants to a level where their sound of judgment is not impeded. These are implied, but mainly the third precept. This means, are they cheating on each other? Even emotional cheating, not even physical. And then the third one, Samachaga. Now, chaga for us normally is giving something to somebody without having strings attached to that. It's like how many devotees give dana, They give something and, why are you giving dana? Next life, I don't know what's going to happen to me. I should have merits. So how do you know that you haven't done merits? Because you are in a sansaric life. Yes, you are supposed to do good karmas. You are supposed to engage in good karmas. But why are you giving a dana simply because you want to create merits? Don't you think it's a little bit of creating bhavatanha? If you do the generosity in the proper way, merits are complementary. If something is complementary, you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to be hard on that. But unfortunately, there are people who are becoming hard on the complementary stuff. Right? That's a use of time, misuse of time, waste of time. Nobody wants to water the garden when it is raining, right? It's raining. There is water, enough water for the garden, right? You don't have to find the hose for that thing. So chaga basically means giving up, giving and giving up. But what is the chaga for a couple? That's a different context. That's what the Patama Samajivi Sutta talks about. What is that chaga? A fair compromise. A fair compromise. Yes, otherwise someone is compromising, the other one is just enjoying that being taken for granted. So happy, Yeah, it's bonus. It's bonus. I don't want to do that, but if you do it, it's a bonus for me. That kind of people would like to misuse. I mean, not everybody, If you get somebody who is really a good person, they are waiting for the bonus. So, chaga, samachaga for a couple means equal compromise. But when we think about equal compromise, it means that I spend $100 and you must spend $100, Exactly $100. Split the bills, go Dutch, Is it that kind of a thinking? Oh, you are a good person and the other person appreciates you. Maybe supporting, sacrificing, maybe in a different way. Time-wise, money-wise, maybe. Family role-wise. Right? Now, say for instance, there is a housewife who is really running a good household. Then the husband is the breadwinner, and now he is bringing money to the house. And then, but if the husband is making the housewife a maid, was made her to think that you are a maid. I feel that then even he is bringing lots of money, she feels depreciated, right? So nobody should be excommunicated, disrespected, unappreciated within his, her, their role. I have to be very careful to balance out that in a family. That's samachar, a fair compromise, sacrifice. Then samapanya. Panya normally means wisdom, te nibbana, I think when you see about how to become wise, te nibbana, that's it. But panya has a different context in Buddhism. That is the highest level. The lofty panya is that one. That means when you practice the Noble Eightfold Path, you simultaneously practice all these 8 path components. And then what's happening is that by the end of Samma Samadhi, right concentration point, then what happens? Then the wisdom should arise. But there is no mention about the wisdom in the Noble Eightfold Path. Where is it? Do you see wisdom in the Noble Eightfold Path? Where is it? Now we were talking about a review about last week. Yes. Where is the wisdom in the Noble Eightfold Path? That is how we categorize. But where is the wisdom directly? Now, at the end of the Noble Eightfold Path, when we practice one by one and at a certain point practice simultaneously, the wisdom should arise at a certain point. Enlightenment should come. Where is it? When you keep practicing all these Noble Eightfold Path components, at the point of Samma Samadhi, right concentration, then what happens after that is wisdom is swelling out of Samma Samadhi. It is a byproduct at that point. It's not the main product, byproduct. Because otherwise people would try to become wise. Wisdom has to arise by default, not by effort. Think about how many people struggle every day since the morning until the end. Akusala. Lying by 9 o'clock today, and maybe by 12 o'clock I gossip. I couldn't think about the Dhamma at that time. And then I think I criticized someone badly, bad mouth. But by 2 o'clock you think about, they are bad. But how come you are going drawn by these things? Why is it? Your kusala practice has been happening so far by effort. It has to go to a level of by default. Then naturally your thoughts, actions, speeches will become wholesome. Otherwise you have to become a different abnormal person to become a kusala person. Right? There are people like that. Huh? They are pretty unwholesome, but on a certain time they are like becoming very abnormal. Samadhi, right? Jhanas, meditation, We don't have to be like that. Our peace of mind has to be a daily one. It doesn't have to come up like a miracle, right? So panya to a couple in a relationship means, even to the lay people, Pattakama Sutta also said, overcoming 5 things. Actually, they are mostly the 5 hindrances. What are they? The first one is little different. Abhijja, visamalobha. Overcome abhijja and visamalobha. Abhijja means? Covetousness. In layman's language, let's talk about things in layman's language. Greed for what we possess. I think we have that tendency. What we earn, our possessions, our money, our loved ones, right? Sometimes we overprotect our loved ones, isn't it? Do we? Hey, you can't do that. Because you can't do that when I'm with you, right? Because you have to respect me. Of course, yeah, I have to. And what about other things? Knowledge, sometimes people become greedy for their knowledge, right? They are not sharing the true things in life. They are hiding certain things, right? Actually, there is a point in a Jataka story, Guttila Jataka. Guttila. This is a conversation between Devadatta and Buddha, actually. Buddha was a very famous musician, and Devadatta became a bad student. At that time, there was a norm that you can't have a, close fist. The teachers cannot keep a close fist, so you have to tell everything to the student. But he didn't know that this is a bad student. You should not teach the good ones to a bad student. He taught everything to this bad student. Bad means not in terms of the competency of the knowledge. He has a plan to do after he learned things. He challenged the teacher. He was going to destroy the teacher after that. Right? So people become greedy for different things. So basically, if you have a greed for what you own, what you possess, that is called not lobha, abhijja. Lobha is a common term. Greed. Greed for what you have is abhijja. Abhijja. And then parallelly there is another lobha. Abhijja, visama lobha. Visama lobha. Visama lobha means greed we may have for what other people have. Do we have things like that? Sometimes, we may have kind of those thoughts. So, visama lobha. So, as a lay person, in this case, in a relationship, the both have to maintain this idea. They have to overcome these two types of lobha, abhijja, visama lobha. Second, vyapada, ill will. They cannot destroy anybody, even in a thought. They cannot sabotage, right? They cannot sabotage each other. They cannot blackmail. Sabotage, blackmail. This happens in a company. When you are going to be laid off, you see a small letter on your desk. You don't know what is that. You are laid off. You don't have access to the database anymore. You are laid off because they might think you might sabotage the database. Vyapada, no any thoughts to destroy someone. In the present world, it is a very timely thing, destroying other people on social media, character assassinations, posting things to hurt other people, right? In the name of freedom, right? These things happen, so we have to be careful. Third thing is tina midda, laziness with regard to mind and mental factors, chitta and cetasika. I mean, if you are lacking in energy in your thoughts and about your mind as in a relationship, that might cost a lot. And then the fourth thing is uddhacha kukkucha, restlessness of the mind, and then the worries, regrets. So we have to overcome, especially a couple have to overcome actually that. Finally, doubts have to be overcome in a process of this journey. So these 5 things have to be overcome as much as they can. So then the couple is having wisdom. Daily they are creating their own wisdom. Some people think wisdom is automatically coming to them when they get old, with the white hair, with the wrinkles. Is it automatically happening? Just because you can't be that mobile, you are immobile. I mean, you all will go through that one day. But wisdom does not happen. This particular wisdom does not happen in that way. But you may have a different wisdom about the life, what's happening, experiences. Right? It's a different kind of wisdom. This wisdom has to be created. In Buddhism, good things have to be created, not automatically they are coming to you. Something very interesting. blessings don't come automatically. Earlier people think blessings come automatically. When you go to a vihara, Bhante, can you please bless me, put a string on my wrist, sprinkle that blessing, cascading water, blessings. Yeah, it's kind of blessings, yes. They are blessings that you can get. But the true blessings will come to you when you create them under the Mangala Sutta. 38 blessings, starting from associating the not associating the unwise people. Right? So, all right, this is what we discussed. So the Buddha said, if you, as a couple, have been practicing, maintaining these 4, which I understand you do, that means you will be able to be reborn in the next life. This is what we discuss in the Patama Samajivi Sutta. And today we are going on to another very interesting sutta. This is about a conversation between a yakkha called Āḷavaka and the Buddha. I think Buddhist Mahavihara has found the real yakkha here. Oh, that's pretty dangerous, terrible. It's good. Blue colored, very long, yes. But anyways, these yakkhas could be like that. But the problem is, now we have to discuss a couple of things today. We are not going into the context of the Āḷavaka Sutta today. It will be coming up. We are going to discuss the initial conversation that took place between the Buddha and yakkha Āḷavaka. Okay, so let's see this. Samyutta Nikaya 10.12. Evang me sutang, I have heard. Ekang samayang, once upon a time. Bhagava, the blessed one. Ālaviyang viharati. Ālaviyang means a city. Ālavi means it is a city. City. Where is it located? Somewhere in India, right? Okay, so Ālavi. We had to write with some diacritical marks. You can see there. Ālavi, city. Now it is said that Buddha is staying at Savatthi. And now he wants to go to Rajagaha. Rajagaha, the first temple, the city where the Veluvanarama. This temple. Now it is said that when he wants to go from journey from Savatthi to Rajagaha, Ālavi is one of the cities that he has to pass. Before Ālavi there is, I will put Ālavi here. There's another city he has to pass called Kitagiri. Savatthi to Kitagiri, Kitagiri, Ālavi to Rajagaha. Interesting, huh? Like 2 sub-cities that he's going to pass from Savatthi to Rajagaha. All interesting places we know in the Buddhist history. Savatthi had 2 temples, Jetavanarama. And later on, Vishaka's temple called Pubbarama. Kitagiri, he stayed time to time. Ālavi, this is the place now where Buddha is going to give this Dhamma talk, conversation. Okay, so we need to understand then the Buddha was once staying, not living. Buddha can't live in a yakkhas place. Staying in the yakkhas bhavani. Bhavani means? Bhavani. Bhavana mean? You may have heard the Indian restaurant, Saravana Bhavan, Bhavan, what is it? Palace, mansion, palace, Bhavanis. So Yakka had a mansion. Right? So what happened, this particular day, the yakka Āḷavaka has gone to the monthly yakka meeting. Annual, maybe monthly general meeting. Probably AGM, probably monthly meeting. He went to that meeting. So Buddha went to this place at that time. So what happened, then we can then see what's going on after that. Okay. So yakka was not there. Then the Buddha started, that part is not here. The Buddha started giving some Dhamma talks to the yakkhas people, especially yakkhas consorts, yakkinis. Then what happened, during this time there were two yakkhas. They were on the way to the yakkhas meeting. Sātāgira, Hemavata. So these two yakkhas, it is said they were going to the yakkhas meeting, but they could not pass Āḷavaka yakkhas palace area, because the Buddha was there, so they had to, the sky was closed for them. The aerospace was closed for them. You know, this happens, dignity is going around, other planes cannot go in that area, for security reasons. So they had to go down, what's going on? Buddha is there. So they respected him. They had no problem. They continued their journey to the yakkhas headquarters. Actually, they were going to this place. We call it, what is it? Ālakamanda, right? Ālakamanda. The yakkhas headquarters, where the Vessavana is living, Vessavana yakka, the head yakka. Āḷavaka was a provincial yakka, powerful provincial yakka, kind of responsible for a certain area of the area. So then they continued to go there. And then they said, the two yakkas said to Āḷavaka, the Buddha had gone to your palace and he's now giving a Dhamma talk. We heard that. I think you should be blessed. He was very unhappy about it. How come he trespassed my palace? It is said that he immediately went to his palace and then questioning the Buddha, how come you entered into my place without having my consent? It's a good point, right? So we normally get permission before we get into a place. But anyways, Buddha had a different thought. That's why he did that. Atako Āḷavako yakko. Now the Āḷavaka yakka has already come back to his palace. Yena bhagava tenupasankami. He approached the Buddha, where the Buddha was staying at that time, and Bhagavantang etada bocha, and told the Buddha, Nikkama samanati. Nikkama, samana. The Buddha doesn't know about the Buddha very much. So he called samana. Samana, which is a common name for all the monks at that time. Samana. I think I discussed that long time ago. Samana tradition. Samana. Samana means a wandering monk. What is the polar opposite of this? Samana and Brahmana. Brahmana means those priestly class who were taking all the privileges at the Buddha's time. They told the people that we were born from the mouth of the Mahabrahma, You guys were born from his hands. And those outcasts, they were born from the feet of the Mahabrahma. And they were telling a different story. If you want to contact the God, you have to contact them through us. That's the Brahmin. So then people didn't like this after some time. They thought, no, we have to go up against the Brahmin. So they started different traditions, Samana tradition. Right? Samana tradition, which had quite a many groups, but we normally take 6 groups. We call them as Purana Kassapa, Makkali Gosala, Ajita Kesa Kambala, Pakuda Kachayana, Nigantanatha Putta, and Sanjay Bellatti Putta. You can search them, pre-Buddhistic teachers on Google. They are not normal teachers, they are very highly respected ones during the Buddha's time. They had a lot of students, very famous, widely recognized teachers. So the Buddha got his context from him, Nigantanatha Buddha, because he was the one who was very much closer to the Buddha. Even you go to India today, you see the Nigantanatha Buddha's statue is very similar to the Buddha. So it is said that nobody has seen the Buddha. The Buddhists created the Buddha statue through the framework of the Nigantanatha Buddha. There are some scholars who are arguing about it, because nobody has seen the Buddha, right? And we see a lot of differences in the Buddha statues. But anyways, we have certain things in the text about Buddha statue, but we don't know the exact Buddha statue. So now Yakkha Āḷavaka didn't understand the Buddha very much, so he called him as a samana who is going against the Brahmin, wearing a robe and all that, right? The bald head and all that. What he said, Nikkama, get out. Get out of my place. Huh? What do you feel when someone is going to tell you like that? Huh? So Yakkha is trying to kick him out now. Huh? He said, Nikkama Samana. Now Buddha understood, yes, I think I made a mistake. So I will get out, just to give him some respect. So Yakkha is happy. Then what happened? Sadha Vusoti Bhagava Nikkami. Sadhu means, I think that one you have to learn. Sadha Vuso. This one. What is Sadha Vuso? This is how we have to take it. Sadhu Avuso. What is Avuso? Huh? Like a colleague. This is the way how at that time someone addresses a colleague, a friend, in the same level. So sadhu means, sadhu, are you also saying sadhu all the time? Huh? Huh? Sadhu. Huh? Excellent. You think the Buddha said excellent, I will go out? Huh? Something wrong, huh? We have to check. Now in Sri Lanka, there is a tradition not to disrespect. Huh? Every time the Buddhist monk is saying the Buddha, they say sadhu. But sometimes there were moments that people don't understand the context. There was one monk who was saying, now monk Devadatta threw a stone to the Buddha. They say sadhu. Excellent. They didn't know why that Buddha was mentioned. Devadatta is going to harm Buddha. You should not say sadhu for that. That's quite shocking. Huh? So, so we have to always think about why are we saying sadhu too, right? Here sadhu means, okay, okay, I'll go out, no problem. Okay, friend. This is a different context. I told you, Pali has many meanings. Every Pali word has two meanings. Two main meaning, literal meaning and contextual meaning. So we have to understand them. Normally, contextual meaning has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 meaning. We don't know. So we have to study three things. If you really want to learn some sutta teachings very well, then I tell you something. I hope one day you will come to that level. One day. Amma is a process, learning. Let's say now there are 3 paragraphs. Okay. Now we want to learn about this paragraph. This is one we want to learn about, something about Dhammati. So if we want to learn this paragraph, we have to learn the preceding paragraph and the subsequent following paragraph. Then we find out the proper contextual meaning of that. Otherwise, Panya. How many meanings Panya has? More than 10, 15. How do we know that? We have to learn this preceding paragraph and the following paragraph. So sadhu here means, all right, okay. But sadhu in other contexts means good, excellent, yeah. Sadhu also, okay, friend, Bhagava, the Buddha, left. And now he wants to torture the Buddha, bully the Buddha. He said, Pavisa, okay, come again, Samanat. Then the Buddha said, Sadhauso, okay, friend. The Buddha entered into his palace again. Where? Dutiyampiko Āḷavaka. For the second time also. Yakkha Āḷavaka, Bhagavantan, the yakkha asked from the Buddha, get out, monk. The Buddha said, okay, friend, I will. Then ask him to come again. Third time also. He asked the Buddha to get out and come again. What do you feel if this happens to you? You somehow, for whatever the wrong reason, you trespass into somebody's house. Now he's going to torture and bully you. Hey, get out, come back, get out, come back. I hope that you will manage your temper, hopefully, as a good Buddhist. You still try to manage. I'm not going to say anything. That is the wisdom, right, at that point. So Buddha thought this is a good way to get friendly with this yakkha. Sometimes we are dealing with wrong people. We cannot expect the normal procedure with them. Maybe if I just conform to his way, he will be okay with me. So I can start my conversation. That is the plan of the Buddha. He knows how to talk to people, how to get along with people. Now, third time already gone. Buddha went out, came back. Chatuttampi. For the fourth time, yakkha said, get out. And at that time, now Buddha wanted to be different. He didn't want to get out. He said, Nako ahang tang avuso nikkamis. I do not. Nako ahang means I. Also friend, go out, get out. Yang tang karani yang tang karohiti. Yang tang something, te you karani. If you can do something, you can do that. I think this is something that many people say. When they are too angry, they say, I don't fear at you at all. Do whatever you want. Go to the police station, go for the court, I don't care. Same idea. But you might be telling that in a bit of anger. But Buddha said in a nice way, I'm not going to go out. Do something if you can. Right? Nako ahantang also. Nikkamisami. I will not get out. Yante, be careful. Hopefully you are not using this Pali sentence to fear other people. If you are so mad, yante karaniyantam karohiti. Good Pali, Yante karaniyantam karohiti. That means, do whatever you want. I'm not doing anything. It's a very strong statement in Pali. Then yakkha becomes very mad. Okay, this is the yakkhas challenge and the threat intimidation. Yakkha knew that to bully a monk, it is not good to attack him or her in the first place. I just give you a certain grace, right? What is my grace to you is that panyang. Panyang mean question someone. Monk, panyang tang puchisami. I will question you. I will ask some questions from you. Sache. Sache means this word. Sache. You learn some Pali, Sache in Pali means if. If. Sache me na byakar. If you don't answer me, if you don't clarify the questions to me, then understand what I'm going to do to you. Chittang vate kipisami. What does it mean? Chittam means mind or thoughts. Vate kipisami. I will provocate your mind. That means I will make you mad. I will drive you crazy. Right? Kipisa means provocate. I'll provocate you, I'll drive you crazy. What do you think about that kind of a challenge? If somebody is saying, I'm going to make you crazy. Is it possible? It is possible within certain relationships, kind of becoming such a noisy person all the time, But how does the yakkha do it to the Buddha? That means yakkhas can provocate people. That means in some cultures, Buddhist cultures, they have an idea. When someone is very mad, they say, oh, yakkha has come into this person's mind. Yeah, it's a certain yakkha. Now you are not ABC person, you are a yakkha now. That means yakkha has entered into his mind already, her mind. Angry person and all that. So I think this is what he means. That means I'm going to drive you crazy because I will enter into your... yakkhas can do that. Yakkhas can enter into people's mind. Yakkha, mara, right? Then the second threat was hadayang vate palisami. Hadaya means... Hadaya. Hadaya. Do you have a hadaya? Heart. You all have a heart. Heart. Now the yakkha is saying, palisami, I will confound. In simple English, I will break your heart. You never know that yakkha can break our heart. Certain people can break our hearts. People are saying, my heart is super broken now. Probably a yakkha's role. Someone has taken by himself or herself. So that means yakkha can break someone's heart. How? That means yakkha can, when I think these are all probably metaphorical things, because not that someone is going to trance into the body. It means someone can do certain things from outside, and as a condition of that activity, someone will be broken in his or her heart, and then the mind. And if not, padesua, this is a very big threat, physical violence. Padesua gahitva, having taken you with your feet, I am going to throw you onto the Paragangaya. Paragangaya means? Huh? River? Far shore of the Ganges. Ganges. Ganges means? The Ganga. That means, actually Ganges is a very wide river. I think if you have been to India, it's very wide. So the yakka is threatening that I will take you with your feet and throw you to the far shore of the Ganges. A very big threat. Right? Any questions about this threat? I hope you have no questions about it. It's pretty clear. It's a very bad threat to the Buddha. Don't worry, I think you may have not been this much threatened in your life, intimidated by anybody, but the Buddha. See? I think nobody has told you that I'm gonna, maybe there are people, I'll make you crazy today, right? By doing certain things that you don't like. And I will probably break your heart one day at a time you never expect. People do that, right? Okay, this is what happened at the end. Nako ahang tang auso passami. Friend, I don't see anybody. Nako ahang tang auso passami. See, sadevake loke, this in these world systems, including the Deva worlds, samarake, there are many maras in the world, and sabbrahmake in any Brahma world, sasamanak brahmaniya, among any monks or any Brahmins, sadeva manusai, or among any other Deva, yome chittangva kipe, I don't see anybody in these Deva worlds, Mara places, Brahma places, among other monks, among other Brahmins, anybody who can drive me crazy, who can break my heart, who can take me by my feet and throw to the far shore of the Ganges. But, apichatva, but, also friend, puccha yada kankasiti. If you have a question, I will answer you. That's a simple thing. Kankasiti means clear your questions. Kankasiti. Okay? I hope this is how things go. And all right, now the yakka is now I would tell you something interesting. The answers to these questions the yakka is asking in the following, which you will be studying in the next week after, that they were known to yakka already. In the story it says that yakka knew all the answers from his father, because his father had asked the same questions from a previous Buddha, Kassapa Buddha, the Buddha who was before the Gautama Buddha, Kassapa Buddha. And his father had already known answers to these questions from the Kassapa Buddha, and he has all the answers. He wants to check with the Buddha, actually. He's going to test upon the Buddha's knowledge. All right? So that's where we're going to stop in the text. But we have to discuss certain things now. Any questions so far? In your own way? You can come and ask from the mic. Okay. All right. Now we have to study about yakkha. Okay. That's an interesting topic, actually. Okay. Who is a yakkha? Huh? Who is a yakkha? Is yakkha a being who was reborn in a hell, or in the Manusya world, or in the heaven? Where is he belong to? So yakkha belongs to a Deva group. So there are 6 Deva groups, which you already understand. Chatum Maharajika, Yama, Tāvatinsa, Tusita, Nimmanarati, and Paranimmita Vasavatti. These are the typical heavens, 6 heavens. This is the highest heaven. But sadly, these 2 heavens belong to the Mara. Mara is a Deva too. Under the Mara, there are millions, billions of Maras there. Okay? So the Yakkha, I think you said Yakkha is a part of Deva. Now, can you have an educated guess about out of which Deva world Yakkha can, be a part of? Huh? Okay, sorry. Chatum Maharaj. Chatum Maharajika. Now, this is the entry gate to the heavens in Buddhism, early Buddhism. Chatum Maharajika has 4 types of devas. Okay? 4 types of devas. Starting from the yakkhas. Yakkha. Second, Kumbanda. Third, Gandhabba. Fourth, Nagas, Virupakka's friends, disciples. Nagas. And there are devas attached to these ones. Yakkha has Vesavana, Kumbanda has Virulha, then Naga has Virupakka, Gandhabba has Dattaratta Deva. They are we call them Lokapala. Lokapala Deva. World guardian devas. Normally we understand the Sakka or Indra living in the Tāvatinsa, he is getting all the information about the human world through these 4 deva types. They are the ones who are doing the surveillance for him. It is said in the text. Now, Yakkha, we don't have to go a little bit more about them, but Yakkha. I just have to tell you a few other things. Out of these heavens, the most blessed Deva world is Tusita. The most blessed place. Why is it? When someone is going to become the Samma Sambuddha, that person should finally be reborn in the Tusita heaven. We call it the heaven of the Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas are finally going to be reborn in the Tusita heaven. And when the Bodhisattva is reborn in his last life, in human world, his mother is going to pass away and then going to be reborn in the Tusita. Now, in the same way, Prince Siddhartha was born from Tusita and the mother passed away. Mother was reborn back in Tusita heaven. Nimmana Rati Paranimmita Vasavatti, they are Mara. There are Maras. Maras are kind of devas too. It is said that people who have done lot of good karmas with lot of expectations, they are going to be reborn in the Mara types of Deva worlds. When you become a Mara, then but your role is to drive other people onto the temptations. That's the Mara's role. When you feel that you are tempted by someone, that means one Mara is trying to take you over there. That's the Mara's role. We have the Vasavatti Mara. The head Mara is Vasavatti. That's why when any Buddha is going to become the Buddha, there is a battle happening with the head Mara and the Buddha. Why? If he is a Deva, why he wants to quarrel with the Buddha? Because he doesn't like someone is going to tell the way out of the sensual life, sansaric life. So anyways, that's about the Deva. I just wanted to share with you. Tāvatinsa is the place of Indra. Yama is a world, deva world between these two. Not very much specific information is there about Yama. Okay, we'll take yakka here. Now, how many yakkhas we know normally? We now understood Āḷavaka yakka, yakka Sātāgira, yakka Hemavata. Have you ever found out any other suttas about yakkhas? Any other Pali suttas? Oh, I should ask this question this way. Have you ever found a yakka? Okay, I think you know this sutta. You probably forgotten for a moment. Atanatiya Sutta. Is it very unpopular in your knowledge, Dhamma knowledge? I think you can see this sutta in your chanting book. Atanatiya Sutta, right? And there are a lot of misconception about this sutta from Digha Nikaya. There is a saying that when you have an overnight chanting, paritta chanting, this will be the sutta the Sangha members going to chant just before they are finishing. And the misunderstanding is they say some people, most people I think they, with some misunderstanding, they think that the purpose of Atanatiya Sutta is to chase away the yakkhas. This is a misunderstanding. Why is it? If you look at the Atanatiya Sutta's background story, it is said that Vessavana, that means, this one, the head yakkha, we have another name for him, Kuvera. Kuvera or Vessavana approached the Buddha one day and then said to the Buddha, Bhante, I know your disciples, they go to the forest, they go to other places, so there may be some potential attacks from the yakkhas. So I share with you Atanatiya. Atanatiya means a city in our place. The yakkhas place is called Uttarakuru. Uttarakuru is a place where the yakkhas are living. Ālakamanda, all the yakkhas things are located here in Uttarakuru. So then Vessavana asked the Buddha, can you teach this formula to your monks and nuns so that when they go to meditate, they go to the forest, they will not be attacked by the yakkhas. So this is a survival kit for the monks and not that they can chase them away. That's a misunderstanding. Survival kit. Atanatiya. In this Atanatiya, we learn about yakkhas a lot. What is happening? There are two chapters, first chapter and second chapter. First chapter is the yakkhas chapter. Second chapter is the Buddha's chapter. That means Vessavana told the formula to the Buddha, and then Buddha is telling the same thing to the monks. Here there is something interesting happening. It is said that the Vessavana told the Buddha, Bhante, there are a lot of yakkhas who don't like to follow the 5 precepts. When you told them to give up killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, then lying, and then giving up on intoxicants, they have proclaimed, declared, we don't want to follow you. We want to continue becoming immoral. That means there are yakkha type of deva in the Chatum Maharajika who are not Buddhist deva. It happens. If you go to India, you might see southern India. How many devas are there? Some are very ferocious. People respect in their own ways. So, some other yakkha type of deva, they said, no, we will follow your teachings. So, don't expect all the yakkhas to be Buddhist yakkhas. There are a lot of non-Buddhist yakkhas. That means, not even Buddhist yakkhas or non-Buddhist yakkhas. there are devas who are not Buddhist, at the same time who are not following the precepts, right? That has to be understood. At the same time, we need to understand that the role of the yakkhas. Now, say for instance, in this sutta, there are many things: atanata, kusinata, parakusitanata, Natapurya. What are these places? They are cities in the Uttarakuru. Cities. So Buddha was talking about different yakkhas under the information given by the Vessavana. So yakkha is a kind of deva, but they are not always Buddhist. At the same time, you have to understand that not all the devas are good devas. There are some bad devas too. So that's why when some monks, they are sharing good karmas, they say devas of sammaditthi. May devas of sammaditthi share our good karmas. They are not giving good karmas to all the devas, but as we have to practice metta, we have to give good karmas to everybody, whether they want or not. All right, so we go back to the sutta again. Now, yakkha is ready to ask his questions. I think we can go over here. He's pretty much asking about lay people's life and what is the most important things in your lay life. These are the questions he wanted to focus on. Okay, I also want to tell you something. At the end of this sutta, what happened was that Āḷavaka yakkha became a sotapanna. Very interesting, huh? The person who challenged the Buddha very badly, and he became a sotapanna, and he lost his yakkha nature. He became a normal formal deva at that point. That is interesting because when you become a sotapanna, you cannot become a normal yakkha anymore. Probably his external appearance was meant to change at that point, because yakkha by nature, they are disturbing people. So this happened to the same another person, Janavasabha yakkha. Who is that? Janavasabha yakkha. Who is that yakkha? There's a sutta in the Digha Nikaya, Janavasabha. Remember what happened to King Bimbisara? What happened to him? King Bimbisara was killed by his son Ajasatta, and he passed away, and he became a yakkha. Maybe he died with lot of remorse, lot of unhappiness, because it is said that son Ajasatta was provocated by monk Devadatta. He said to him, you kill your father, you become the king, and I will kill the Buddha, and become the Buddha. So you support me to kill the Buddha, I support you to kill your father. That was a deal. Right? But he didn't know that Buddhahood is not a position. That's why when the Buddha passed away, he did not appoint a successor. He could have appointed a successor, Arahan Mahakashapa, but he didn't do that. When the other Sangha members kept asking me, who will be replacing you? Nobody can replace me. And Dhamma Vinaya will be your successor. So what happened? King Bimbisara passed away with lots of remorse, but it is said that he became a sotapanna. So I think then he should not have remorse, but he must have in a way, because he has not overcome hatred. When you become a sotapanna, you only overcome sakkaya ditthi, vicikicca, silappata parama. So still anger carries differently, but the anger is well managed. What is our anger? Is it well managed? Or is it going very crazy, like a storm? That means our anger is not well managed. At least we don't know we are angry, sometimes, but we are angry. So, Sotapanna's anger is well managed. Raga also well managed. Still they can be, but well managed. So, that means there are many yakkhas who became Sotapannas as well. Alright, any questions before we talk a little bit more about this sutta?
Bhante, if the yakkha and mara, they are so immoral in the first place, how they can reborn in the Deva realm? Then the mara Deva realm is even higher than the Tusita and so on. So I thought the highest the realm is, the purer the beings.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If you take this argument to the Brahma world, yes. The 16 Brahma worlds, yes. They go on to that purification level. Actually, the better way to explain that is not all the maras and yakkhas are evil, as I said. Now, even Vishaka, it is said Vishaka went to Nimmanarati, if I am not mistaken. She went to Nimmanarati. We don't find that she attained Nibbana. So that means she became a Mara. But we don't say that Visakha became a bad kind of Mara. But normally, people are reborn in these places for different reasons. If you take yakkhas in particular, there are many yakkhas who are immoral. But some yakkhas, they are learning Buddhism and they are protecting others and they are good yakkhas. And maras, there are many maras who are doing the role of the main mara, but there are others who are not that immoral. Because we have different information about different people who were reborn there. Yeah, so there is no purification that is exclusively meant for heavens. Now, that's what your argument was, that if someone is to be reborn in a highest... Actually, why Paranimmita Vasavat is the highest? Why it is the highest? Now, Nimmana Rati means, I tell you, the Devas who are going to be reborn there as Maras, they can create their own mansions. They can customize their heavenly palace. It's a big task in today's world. You cannot customize your house. You have to pay a lot. Right? You have to have a lot of money to make a custom-made house. Otherwise, you buy the built-up house. And the Deva type of, Mara type of Deva who are reborn in the Nimmanarati, when they are reborn there, they start creating their own palace. And then when you are reborn in the sixth one, they are not only creating their palace, they are also creating other Devas' palaces too. Paranimmita Vasavatti. So it's more about some more good karmas, and then they are enjoying their benefits. At the same time, they are living longer than all the other Devas compared to the first 4 Devas. Other than that, there is no moral wholesome elements that they are bringing forward at that point. Yes. But if you talk about Brahma world, yes, if you go to the pure lands, they are highly moral places. It is said that if you are reborn as a Brahma in the 5 pure lands, you will be attaining Nibbana over there. You can become an Arahant. So this moral ascending order of the morality has to be checked with the Brahma worlds. And because Brahmas are also Deva. Now we call the first one Yakkha Deva, right? Yakkha Deva, Kumbhanda Deva, Gandhabba Deva, Naga Deva. First category. Then second category Yama Deva, Third category, Tavatinsa Deva. Fourth category, Tusita Deva. Then, Nimmana Rati Deva. Nimmana Rati Mara Deva. Paranimita Vasavati Mara Deva. And then, what is the next level of the heavens after that? Then, Brahma Deva, the first Brahma worlds. I think we discussed that under Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, right? Yeah, we discussed all that. 16 Brahma worlds. See if we can find them. Yeah, not a good image for that. Anyways, we studied all that too. Under Dhammacakkappavattana. So they are going to be Brahma Deva. So we can do that thing from the Brahma worlds, Brahma Deva worlds onwards. Yeah.
Bhante, I have one question. Maybe I study the Sabha Asawa Sutta. This on the, especially on the Kama Asawa. Then, the Asawa is so-called like, is the temptation. Then we have this, from the Mara side, right? Mara is the one that actually, so-called that they block us from getting out from the, not block us, something like create a temptation so that we will not get out from the samsaric, world. So in this context, right, we have this Asawa that basically we have to overcome. Then as we so-called progress, right, means that the Mara, they were so-called like, in a way like block us from going towards that path. So, how could we actually relate this Sabha Asawa Sutta and this Mara? On one hand, you got the external that actually, forces that actually that we cannot actually progress. Thank you.
Okay. It is said that our temptations may reflect the Maras. Because Mara Devas are always enjoying their life and then they are happy when others do the same thing. So it is also said that Mara has bonds. I think we should discuss this thing, which I have a blog post for that, for a previous talk which I did. Okay, how to respond to Mara's 10 armies. Mara has 10 soldiers. That means these are not people. These are our mental states, you can see, which was a talk I gave last year. All right, I hope that there is another, probably a blog post for that. This one. Okay, so these are the 10 temptations that Maras are imposing on us. Number one is excessive sensual pleasures, discontent, frustration, disappointments. Means how many people are frustrated on a daily basis about food, people, things don't happen the way they want. So think about whenever you are frustrated, before you leave a review on Google, that I am driven by the second army of the Mara. So whenever you understand that Mara's second army is what you call frustration, dissatisfaction, then you will think twice not to proceed that thought. Third one is hunger and thirst. Right? I think if we don't have enough mindfulness, understanding, mindful eating, we are going to eat a lot, right? And then we are going to drink a lot. And then we are going to make us sick, right? So it is also Mara's temptation. The fourth one, craving. Even we are into craving because of Mara's one army, sloth and torpor. That means even the things that we have to overcome under the 5 hindrances come under the Marasami. Fear, Bhiru. Now we understand that most of our fears are irrational, right? Isn't it? Aren't they? Fear of getting sick, fear of dying, and we are Buddhists. And Buddhists should not be fearful about the death, but they are the ones who are very much feared of dying. I said, why you are? No, I think I could have done one more good karma on, like, before I pass away, Because we are always talking about, be fearless. So I think most of the fears we have, they are irrational. But there are some fears that come to us from samsara. Fear of seeing the blood. Why someone is so much fear at seeing the blood? Maybe sansarically someone was stabbed by somebody, and he saw the blood and passed away at the same time. And that last moment of seeing the blood, that is coming to our sanya into next life. And some are very scared to see heights. Why is it? Maybe you might have fallen from a high place. In this sansaric life, how many times we have died from different places? And the moment you passed away, you didn't like what happened to you. You hate of being killed by the height problem. And then you develop that to the sansaric life. Some fears are sansaric. That's why the hypnotism people, when there are people who are hypnotizing others, they bring you to those sansaric life and learning what was the problem. I remember the old story, the Edgar Casey's research, long time ago, it's not a new one, 1970s, which was written by, in a book, Gina Serminara's Many Mansions, where she mentions that Edgar Casey one day hypnotized a lady who was saying chronic back pain, and he hypnotized this lady, and he took her to 13th century, and she was a onlooker in an audience where kings in Austria were chasing, letting lions to chase after humans, and then lions are going to eat humans alive. And the kings and those families, onlookers, they were happily looking at how the lions are eating those humans alive. And she was not the person who organized the event. She was not the one who ordered this thing, but she was just in the audience, but enjoying what's happening. Ooh. Killing and then eating alive. That was why she got the back pain. No doctor can solve that. Now don't take it wrongly. If you have a back pain, maybe you might have in the audience. Don't take it that way. There are some sansaric connections to some problems. You go to see a lot of doctors, there's no cure. The doctor say, manage the pain. Painkillers. This is another problem. Right? So, there are some fears, sicknesses that come from many, many sansaric life. Right? So very interesting to understand these things. But don't worry, we have things to do. If you have this kind of a thing, try to overcome the fear. By practicing the Noble Eightfold Path, you become fearless and you can overcome these fears. Right? Then doubts. This is conceit and ingratitude, ungrateful people, very conceited people. Why? They have been controlled by one of the Mara's armies. Ninth one is very interesting. Gains, profits, dividends, unnecessary reputations, honor, expecting in wrong ways. It happens. Nowadays, someone's reputation is sometimes mostly on internet, and they are paying people to review. I pay you to review my website. I pay you to watch my videos to get some views. They are not natural. They are trying to get it done. And there are people who are waiting to do that too for some money. Right? So, any gain, any renown, honor, false received, part of the Mara's influence. And the 10th one is very interesting. Self-exaltation and disparaging others. I am the best. you are not the best. And always when they talk about, they play down others, they put them on a high bar. This is also one of the Mara's attacks on someone. Right? We would like to see that that we are not always bragging about us, trying to lower our bragging, and then to understand from the other person, right? So these are the 10 armies. So what we understand here is that these 10 armies were sent by the Mara to stop the Buddha becoming the Buddha. You can see them, some photos that some people drew. But anyways, so what we can say is that these Maras are living in the Parinimita Vasavatti and Nimmanarati. They are devas. That's why they can do those things. But the problem is, now when someone is practicing Dhamma very well, at that point itself, lot of Maras are going to attack that person. Because you are trying to concentrate, things can happen. At that time, you don't need to worry about anybody, don't need to blame anybody. Just see how these temptations are coming to you, how these things are. I want to eat. You are trying to mindfully eat, but you feel, I want to compulsively eat. No, it's not enough. I had to go for a dessert, lunch, dinner. I want to eat new things. I want to try out, it's not bad to try out new things, but sometimes you feel you are okay, but you still want to eat. That might be unnecessary. And these can come to anybody at any time if you are not properly taking care of you. They are not just mental states, they are driven by the Mara's armies. All right, any questions about today? Yes. We'll take maybe 1 or 2 minutes and then we'll transfer the good karmas.
So Bhante, means that if this mental state arises in us, it means that we need to remind ourselves that this mental state, it arises because of the
influence of the Maras.
So we have to remind ourselves, instead of just say that it's because of the mental state that actually arises. Like for instance, that karma, this sensual pressure, it arises because we are not so-called mindful enough of so-called of this sensual pressure. It's because, that it's due to the Mara that actually prevent us from progressing forward.
No, I think we don't call them as Maras. When the sensual pleasure is highly influencing us, who has labeled that sensual pleasure as a Mara's attack, right? Rather than being overwhelmed by the unnecessary sensual pleasure. Don't take it wrong, because as lay people you have to maintain your karmas, but sometimes there are karmas that are coming to you unnecessarily, excessive karmas. Where are you going to bother yourself? I think whenever that arises, you have to label it, this is Mara. And there is something you can do. Yes, overall we are unmindful. That's why all these things are happening. But the moment you feel it is arising a little bit, you giving that label, that sanya to that thing. Say for instance, you have already had your meal. You know you are full, but still there is a certain craving that is going to happen. Hey, go for that thing, and you are deciding, this is not what my body really needs. This is something that is coming from a Mara's influence. And then I think you will stop that. If you are strong enough, you will stop it. Let's say now you are in a discussion, and now things have come to a place that you will brag about you, and you manage, no, I'm not going to brag myself. I will stay low-key. Try to stay low-key, and then I will try to be oriented about this particular event, this particular conversation. So you can think about, always, whenever it is coming, you have to recognize this is a Mara soldier. And then I'm not going to proceed it anymore. I think that itself is your mindfulness. Because who can be mindful 24 hours? Tell me. Huh? Who can be mindful 24 hours? Not in the Western way, in the Buddhist way. Huh? Western way, they have a time for that. They have a time to get mindful. You can get spoiled. But anyways, in Buddhist way, the Buddha says, yes, sati is important, advised to have it as much as you can. But it is difficult, especially as a lay person. That is why I am choosing all these suttas for the lay people, so you will understand your lay people's life. Not those Bhairava Sutta and all these high-ended monastic-based suttas. So what we have to do is, we have to understand what is happening to us. That itself will become your mindfulness. Not that you're trying to become mindful. All right, any more questions for today? Okay. We will,
Bhante, based on today's discussion, I've heard of another interpretation when it comes to the Devalokas.
Mm-hmm.
The 31 planes of existence sometimes can be seen as read as the 31 planes of concentration. So when we look at this level 1 to level 6, is it by any chance that we make an error by looking at it literally, and not in a contextually basis, because we have maybe misconstrued that the more lifespan that you have, you should be more powerful, more virtuous. Because just from a very simple story of to become a Sakadeva Raja, I don't think any normal people can do. But for a Mara to have such a virtue and so forth, to reach that stage and more powerful than the rest, is it that we have taken it too literally, or we should have looked at it on a contextual basis?
Going back to the first part of your question, you said 31.
The 31 planes of existence, at certain version, it was mentioned
true.
as 31 planes of concentration.
31 places
the
of...
level of concentration of
true.
achievement.
These 6 are part of that 31. So 31 places are considered this way: 4 apayas, hells, human place, 6 heavens, 16 Brahma worlds, material Brahma worlds, and 4 immaterial Brahma worlds. So then you see the number is 31. That's correct.
But Bhante, if we were to put them in a sequence of 1 to 31, it would seem that the Mara, somehow or rather, would have accumulated so much goodness that it is even more powerful than, some of the Buddhist disciples who actually passed away and gone to the heaven, but they are all below Mara. So it seems that did we take it out of too literally already, or there is a special place for people like us?
I don't think so. Maras are powerful than humans, but they are not powerful than the Brahmas.
But they are powerful than Sakadeva Raja, Yama.
Yeah, they are powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful in a different way. Yeah, sometimes you see there are good people in this society and there are bad people in the society. But sometimes you see these bad people are more powerful than the good people. So what is the problem with that? We don't bother these people. So it's just an angle we can see in them, but it's not very important in our wholesome conversation. Because we do understand people become Mara, and all the Maras are not bad Maras. There are good Maras too. Because if you read the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, there are Maras. There are good Maras. But normally, the head Mara and a couple of Maras, they still want us to be tempted, be stuck in the sensual pleasures. So there are certain powers that Maras have, better than Sakka. That's why the Buddha is always communicating with Sakka and other Devas, not with the Maras. Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah.
Another perspective. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Reverend, this brother was talking about 31 levels of concentration, but I thought
Not
16.
concentration.
He was
31 places of 31 realms.
He was talking about concentration.
From the practice of samadhi, the consciousness is
Maybe there are different versions. Yeah.
Existence, yes. But on concentration, it is Brahma realms, 16 levels of concentration or 12 levels of concentration?
Well, if you attain jhanas, you are reborn in particular Brahma worlds. First jhana has separate set of Brahma world. If you have second jhana, when you pass away, you will be reborn in the second jhana relevant Brahma worlds. Third jhana, fourth jhana. Yeah, that is how it is working actually.
But we cannot categorize to 31 planes of concentrations.
Yes, we cannot do that. I think he's talking a different version. So, different version. So we had to respect that too. Yeah. So we are now, these discussions are going from the early Buddhist teaching. So, and there are a lot of, post writings and versions too. All right. I think we're going to now transfer the good karmas. May all the good karmas we've been making today, by understanding the context, background of Āḷavaka Sutta, be transferred to all departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. May departed ones be able to receive all these good karmas. May they be well and happy, and may they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. At the same time, may Deva, Naga, Mahidika also share all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity and safety. May they finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata ammehi sambatang punya sangpadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavata ammehi sambatang punya sangpadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavata ammehi sambatang punya sabbe satta anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhang tuluka sasanang. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhang tudesanang. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhang tumang paranti chirang rakhang tutvan sadati. May we be able to be in the company of Kalyana Mitas. Sansaric life is very directionless. May we have that blessing of being with the Kalyana Mitas till we attain Nibbana. Thinking thus, we are going to make the wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yave nibbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas we be making today by learning the background of Āḷavaka Sutta be support you and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana siddhissa niccang vaddha pacainu chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha atu nibbana sampatti iminati samicchatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With that, Sutta discussion for today is over, and wishing you a good night and safe driving back home. See you next Monday at the same time. Thank you.